Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Raw Perspective podcast.
What is up, guys, and welcome to the Raw Per podcast, aka the Raw Perspective podcast. I'm your host, Lex, and as always, got my co-host DJ here with me today. How you doing?
How's it going?
Not too bad. We got a lot to talk about. Where you want to start?
I think what's on everybody's minds right now is probably COVID and getting kids back to school and what the next half of this year and the future is going to hold.
Yeah, especially the kids. Very high priority. Because we obviously, they're the future. We don't want the kids to get sick and stuff like that.
Yep.
A lot of people say, well, I mean, it's a lot of research done by the CDC. They keep saying, kids are less susceptible, to
There
dying or getting ill from corona. But, they've walked back a lot of stuff that they've said before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you take that with a grain of salt, but at the same time, those kids, a lot of them live with grandparents and older parents.
Yep.
And they could transmit that to them. So, it's a real horrible situation. Whichever side you're on, you might have some good points, but, there's also some negatives as well,
Yeah, with everything.
Yeah. Because I think there's a lot of parents that count on kids going to school as their daycare.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So they can't go to work unless their kids are at school, unless they pay for daycare.
Yeah, which is kind of unfortunate. So then that just perpetuates a cycle where nobody's going to be able to work. So it just keeps going over and over again. So I think kids going back to school is going to help get us to that new normal, whatever that new normal is going to look like. Who knows? It's kind of all up in the air.
Yeah, I think they already started here in Georgia.
Yeah.
Saw a lot of school buses and stuff. And they're trying to make it seem, as normal as possible. Not sure what kind of safety measures schools have implemented, but I'm pretty sure they, spend a lot of their budget, implementing new safety measures.
Yeah, from what I've seen, a lot of them have done social distancing through their desks, so everything's at least 3 to 6 feet apart. So the classrooms look like they're all far apart and expanded. They're going to be pretty much elementary school is going to be staying in one classroom instead of doing half a day with one teacher, half a day with the other. They're going to be in the classroom, no recess, eating lunch in the classroom.
Yeah, that makes sense. But, part of school is socializing. You know what I mean? If you got friends in different classes and stuff like that and you never get to see them, a lot of kids, they're not going to like that too much.
No.
Kids are hard at following rules.
Extremely hard. And just even getting kids to wear a mask is hard, or to keep a mask on their face, and then to have a mask on their face and have them not touch their face is impossible.
Do you think they make them wear masks in classrooms?
Some of the schools are.
Really?
Some are making them wear masks. Some are making just the teachers wear the mask. Some are just using social distancing. So across the U.S., it's different depending on what state you're in.
Yeah, one problem I do have with social distancing is the fact that they use the 6 feet rule a lot as the measure as to, that's the distance they should be to not get infected and stuff like that. But, it's proven that smaller particles, fly a lot farther than 6 feet.
It does.
So, yeah, it's a good benchmark, but, if you really want to be safe, maybe the best thing is a mask.
Yeah, and there's so many arguments for and so many arguments against a mask. So I think everybody's trying to do the best they can with the information they have, and I don't think there's any real right answer. My personal opinion is if you're healthy and your immune system is good, then you should be able to resume life as normal.
Yeah.
If you're an at-risk person, then you obviously need to protect yourself. I think there's some things that our country could adopt, like Japan. If you're sick, you wear a mask personally. If you're not sick, you
no
don't
matter
have
what
to.
it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Because remember back then, we used to laugh or look at them crazy when you saw like a Japanese person at the airport and they had a mask on.
Yeah.
You know, you're wondering like, what, like what's wrong with you? Because you know the air over there is way more polluted.
Yep.
Than over here. You know, so people used to look at them crazy, but now you know masks are like a normal thing.
Yeah, it's becoming a normal. Becoming a fashion statement to some people. So
yeah, there's been a lot of businesses that have been created just making masks.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, your family does masks as well, right?
Yep, my wife makes masks. I think she's made 10,000 masks since the start of this whole thing going on.
Wow. 10,000?
At least. I think today she's got like an order of over 150 that she's doing.
Does she have like a sewing machine? Like,
yeah.
Because that's like mass production right there.
She cuts everything out, sews it all, takes her a couple minutes per mask, and
wow.
Then goes from there.
What did she say, like 3 for how much?
3 for $10.
Oh,
which is really cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap plus it's great margins as well.
It is. So it's enough for her to feel like she's making a difference during a pandemic.
Yeah,
and then
that's the main thing
supplies.
Too. Yeah, absolutely. And then I think Louis Vuitton and a bunch of those high end companies and stuff like that are also profiting from it, like making $10,000 masks. And
yeah,
it's really a fashion statement, man. Like I really think that a lot of people that wear masks just wear it to show off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kind of.
Especially like the younger population, you know, they wear it to show off and like match their clothes and stuff like that.
I've seen it just going to the mall, like younger kids wearing masks and they all match. Everything matches. Or they'll have a statement on the mask that they want to make. So now it's just another way to publicize what their ideas are, their thoughts are.
Show individuality and stuff like that, you know. I mean, I guess... yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine. You know, at least, you know, you're staying safe and, you know, protecting others around you, even though, you know, it's not the reason you want to wear it.
No, it's, I don't know. We're seeing a transition into a different normal for the United States as far as just the masks go.
Yeah, like one thing I was thinking about the other day as well is the movie industry. I don't think it's ever going to get back to normal, man.
No.
Like
they pushed tons of good movies that are supposed to come out this year to the end of the year and to next year.
Yeah, I think AMC theaters filed for bankruptcy.
I think they did.
Yeah, and they're one of the biggest theaters in the country, which is horrible because I used to love going to AMC theaters, man, and just sad, you know, like because I mean they weren't that profitable when business was good. Because, they had a lot of stuff going on and stuff like that. So this was just like the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, most movie theaters aren't that profitable just because you're not making a lot of movie off the ticket sales. That's why the concessions are so expensive. That's where their biggest profit comes from.
Yeah, I heard, I think I read somewhere they start making money on a movie once interest starts descending.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when they start making like 50% or higher.
Yep.
Yeah, per ticket sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a horrible business though, man.
Yeah.
How did they ever agree on like that kind of business model, like with the movie industry? Like that's weird.
Maybe just to make it affordable so people can spend. Most people spend $10, $15 to go see a movie. I think if you charge $30, nobody would do that.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, I believe it's the experience.
Yep.
So because you know, there's a lot of movie theaters where the seats are horrible.
Yeah.
And you know, AMC, I think theirs recline, and I think there's even movie theaters that I've seen where you can order food and stuff from your seat and they bring it to you.
Yep.
So so like I said, I think it's all the experience. You know, if it's a great experience, you know, you can charge that much.
Yeah.
And maybe make a little more money.
Yep.
On the ticket sales and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a horrible business model.
Yeah, I think it is. I think in the future, we're going to see some changes to that. I'd like to see more movie theaters offer food while we're eating.
Mm-hmm.
So basically dinner and a movie.
Yeah.
during a show. I think that kind of model would be more profitable and it'd be more of an entertainment experience, like you were saying. That would entice people to actually want to go to a movie theater.
Yeah, because of COVID, the remember drive-through theaters?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're resurged.
Oh,
and
yeah.
a lot of people are going to them again.
Yep.
Yeah, I've only been to one once, and it was a pretty good experience. Like, I didn't expect it to be, but it depends what kind of vehicle you're taking. If you got a truck,
Yeah.
just lay on the truck bed with your pillow and blanket.
It's a little nicer.
Yeah, good experience. But
Yep.
if you're in like a sedan and you're trying to recline and you're not as cozy in there.
Yeah. Well, I think depends. If you're just a couple in a sedan, it wouldn't be too bad. And then you got air conditioning. You don't have to worry about bugs and stuff.
That's true.
With me having kids, we always take the truck. So we just back the truck into the drive-in and they all sit in the back.
Yeah.
I don't care if they get popcorn everywhere because it's all outside the vehicle. So they like that experience.
So you bring your own popcorn or you got concessions out there?
You can bring your own food. So
Mhm.
we've seen people out there with like Chick-fil-A, KFC.
Yeah.
And then they also have their own concessions. But we haven't been since the virus stuff was kicked off. So I don't know if the concessions have stopped or they've changed their model.
Yeah, another idea as well, since the movie theater industry is going down, is, just on demand, but, there's a lot of pirating that goes on with that.
There is.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they'd make the movie a lot more expensive. That way they can make up for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe like $30, $40 instead of the like $12, $15 you usually charge in a theater.
I know personally I would spend $40 to be able to see a movie at my house that just came out in theater.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd pay that too.
Because I'm going to pay $100 if I take the whole family out to a movie theater. I'd rather pay $40.
Yeah, you got food at home and it's a lot cheaper. You cut out the middleman.
Yeah. I think for the movie industry, it'd be more profitable, and then we'd see the decline of theaters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I guess like I was saying earlier, their biggest fear was pirating. People just bootlegging the movie and selling it or making it available online to everybody for free and stuff like that.
Which even now we've got that problem. So people take a camcorder into a movie theater and record. Yeah,
that's true, but I think the main difference is that it's not as good a quality.
No.
I think the only people that get great quality is maybe somebody that works there at the theater.
Yep.
And, they record it when there's nobody there and stuff like that. But even then, the audio and, the visuals might be a little off.
Yeah. So I've seen some of the bootlegs and I personally can't stand watching them just because of quality. I don't want to watch a movie with low quality.
Yeah, especially a new movie, man. Like a Marvel movie. Oh, man, I got to be in there. Like, I need to see every pixel.
Yep.
Yeah, sound got to be, clear and, I got to feel like I'm in the movie myself.
Yeah. I think future business models would be cooler is to do 3D movies.
Yeah, I thought that's one thing I thought was gonna, blow up because I remember back, I would say like 2007, 2008-ish.
Yeah.
When it first started coming out with 3D movies and stuff like that, I thought it was gonna blow up, but people are not receptive to it.
Well, I don't think the 3D way that we view movies with glasses on is very good. But
I think that's the problem.
If you gave everybody an Oculus in the movie theater and it was a true 3D experience where no matter where you turned your head, it felt like you were in the movie, I think that would be the next logical step.
Yeah, I think that idea would be better at home.
It would.
Because in a movie theater, you're like all over the place.
Yep.
And, there's people all around you and stuff. I don't know. I just feel like people wouldn't enjoy that as much because I remember they started selling 3D TVs.
Yeah.
Some people bought them, but it never blew up.
No. Just because of content.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like 4K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 4K's been around for years now. They've been trying to sell 4K TVs, but you don't truly get 4K until, it's 4K content.
Yep.
Like
It's
your
the content.
regular cable provider does not provide 4K content.
No,
You
not
know, the only
regularly.
people I've seen is Netflix and Amazon.
And that brings us in the next area. Like most of the cable stuff, everybody I know streams.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who has traditional cable other than a handful of people.
Mm-hmm.
But majority of the people I know stream everything.
Yeah. That's I think they even have 8K now.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, like
But
that's gonna be
it's-
years.
But at 4K, it's so fine that
You can't really
8K,
tell the
you're not
difference,
gonna
can
be able
you?
to tell the difference. Not,
Yeah.
not with the human eye.
Yeah, unless you watch a movie like Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Avatar is when I really see like the true depth of 4K.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just amazing, man. It's
Yeah,
supposed
it
to be
is.
coming out with 3 more Avatars.
Yeah. And I think they just pushed the next one back to next year.
Oh, do you know if they started filming yet?
I think they're done filming and it's all
really?
post-production, if I'm not
Oh.
mistaken. But it was supposed to be out, I think it was this December, but with all the virus stuff, they pushed it out to next year.
Yeah, because they got the contract for 2, 3, and 4, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like that was a great movie, man. Like just the visuals and the storyline and stuff like that. Like, I know a lot of people that don't really like going to the movies and watching movies, but that movie they enjoy.
Yeah, it was really good. The visual effects I thought were good. I thought it was a remake. The storyline I thought was okay. To me, it was a remake of Pocahontas, just with aliens.
You know what? I never thought of that.
But the
You're right.
visual effects made the movie what it was.
Man, you are right. Like I never thought of that. That is a remake of Pocahontas.
Yeah, it was just a remake of Pocahontas. Better, a little bit better storyline.
Yeah.
And 1,000 times better visual. That was the captivating part on that movie. It was the visual effects.
Yeah, I think they use some kind of new technology when they made that movie. They started to use it in other movies now, but they were the first ones to use that kind of technology.
Yeah, and it looked amazing.
Yeah, I was very, very like when I first heard of Avatar, I thought it was the I don't know if you ever watched the Nickelodeon cartoon.
Yep, that's
what I thought it was.
That's what I thought it was going to be too, and then it wasn't. It's these big blue aliens, and everything was digitally done.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah, like that movie has some great special effects.
Some of the best.
Yeah, I mean, even like remember Jurassic Park, the first one?
Yep.
Dude, like when they come out, like early 90s or late 80s?
Early 90s, 93, 94, 95, I think.
Yeah, like still today, like those effects are incredible.
Yeah.
Like it's just, amazing how they were able to capture those type of effects back then.
And a lot of their effects were camera tricks and playing with lights and darks. So a lot of the stuff that you see in the dark scenes, they can get away with the really good effects just because they can mask out some of the stuff in there.
Yeah, and the dinosaurs, I believe, they were actual models.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not digital effects.
Nope.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's part of the costume design, whoever is in charge of.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but like whoever painted them and, whoever controlled them, like they did a great job, man.
Yep.
I still enjoy that movie till this day.
And the next one I think would have been The Matrix as far as special effects.
Yeah.
So after that, more movies copied what The Matrix had done.
Yeah, man, it's just some iconic movies that, transcends everything and, changes everything in the industry.
They set the new benchmark.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's some movies though, man, like, they have a real low budget, like $30,000 and
Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah, real low budget, and then they hit like 100 million at the box office. Dude.
Yeah.
Like so much profit, man.
Yep. But for to me, those movies are more of an artistic visualization of what somebody's trying to portray versus the normal big budget movies that we see. Seems like a full experience.
Yeah, that's true. But I think, well, I wonder what the revenue like is for those big budget movies and stuff like that. Like how much they actually make in profit. Because I feel like, somebody that spent 50,000 to make a film or 100,000 to make a film and make $100 million, they have a lot less people to pay.
Yeah.
A lot less, other things that they gotta come out of their budget. I feel like that's the way to go, but it's not the same experience as a big budget movie.
No, it's an experience, but it's completely different on a different spectrum.
Yeah.
So I think with those lower budgets, a very personal experience.
Yeah. Like one thing I do hate though, man, is like those movies that are made based on books.
Yeah.
A lot of people got problems with them, man. Like, because like, I feel like when you read a book, right?
Yep.
It's yes, you're reading it, but you're imagining what something looks like based on what you read. So it's your own idea of what it is.
Yeah.
So when you're watching a movie, it's the director's idea of what he think, the author meant in the book.
Yep.
And I'm sure he talked to the author and stuff like that, and the author okayed it.
Yeah.
But, it's their idea of what they think it is. So you can't, be mad, or dislike it because, that's not how you envisioned it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
everybody would have a different movie if, they're the ones that did it.
They would. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I never read any of those books.
Ender's Game, Hunger Games.
Yeah.
All, for the most part, pretty dang close to the books. But there's a lot of different stuff that they do differently. I think they do it differently because to be able to capture something from the book visually is either astronomically expensive or just so far-fetched it wouldn't let the movie flow in the time frame that they need it to flow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just, some things like you were saying, is just over the top that you can't really capture the way you want to because, everybody got a budget.
Yep.
And, you're not able to, but, what have you been watching that you found interesting during this, pandemic?
Mostly I've been working too much, but Umbrella Academy second season just came out.
Yeah, I started watching that, man, with my wife, and I don't know. I feel like I didn't really like it. I feel like it's X-Men 2.0.
Kind of. Yeah, in a way, with a funny twist.
Yeah, I guess that's the main problem I have with it because I feel like it should be serious.
Yeah.
But because like when I first started watching it, I was like, "Ooh, okay, this is gonna be good. It's like X-Men, it's gonna be good." And then it's like very goofy and
really goofy.
I'm like, I don't know, I don't really like that.
So, I think X-Men ruined a lot of superhero stuff between Marvel and DC. Our expectations for superhero movies are way different now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I thought DC Comics, man, I thought they were gonna be great. Because competition always brings out the best in both parties, but Marvel is just destroying them, man.
Hands down, destroying them.
Dude, like, come on. Like, because Marvel's like movies, they all are interconnected.
Very.
And it flows. It has a rhythm and everything makes sense together. You know what I mean? And at the same time, somebody who's never watched Marvel before could watch a standalone movie.
Yeah.
And enjoy that. They don't have to, watch all the others to get it. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the cool things that they're doing. But DC Comics, man, like their movies are horrible, man. I think only one I enjoyed was the the sea guy. What's it called? The fish guy.
Oh, Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I enjoyed. Like the visual effects and acting and everything was great.
Yeah, I liked the Batman trilogy with Christian Bale, The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, The Dark Knight. Yeah, that's probably their best movie. Oh, Joker was great too.
Yeah.
So I say Joker, Aquaman, and Dark Knight.
Yeah.
3 best movies. All the Superman ones they made were horrible.
Man of Steel, I thought was the first half. It was okay. And then I didn't really care for the second half of Man of Steel. I thought Man of Steel was the closest to the old Supermans than any of the other Supermans that they made.
Yeah, they just lost their stride, man.
Yeah.
And then they kind of rushed it too.
Yep.
Because remember they came out with the Justice League movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, they rushed it, man, because they saw what Marvel was doing.
They did.
Nobody's stories really, made sense. Like, it just popped out of nowhere, and they're the Justice League. So, yeah, man, like, I was rooting for them, man, because I think they got great characters.
Yeah, they got phenomenal characters.
Yeah, they're not taking advantage.
They got some of the most popular characters in the world, like Batman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman.
And Superman.
Yeah, like that's the most iconic.
Yep. And they just
comic book character
sit back and let Marvel do their thing, and they answer back, but it's kind of half-assed answers.
Yeah. Like, just think, the character they got, the Flash.
Yeah.
Dude, to me, the Flash is their Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You see how lovable and how much depth that Marvel gives Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Spider-Man. Like, their movies are great, except the exception of 2. The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We had 1 and 2. Yeah, that was something else. But yeah, so the Flash, he didn't even have his own movie. They just threw him in the Justice League out of nowhere.
Yep.
Like, come on, man.
And they mixed up 2 of the Flashes to create one. So there's a bunch of different Flashes, and they just kind of mixed 2 different personalities.
Dude, even better, which is a show I do watch, is the CW version of the Flash.
Yeah.
It's like a actual TV show, and they got this whole universe that they got going on.
Yep.
With Supergirl and a bunch of other characters. That's better than all the DC movies, man. Like, I'm like, come on, like, it doesn't make any sense. And that was one character, was it the black dude that's like a robot? That was in the Justice League?
Cyborg.
Yeah, like, I've never heard of him before. Like, at least introduce him to the audience, like, give him a movie or something.
Yeah.
Get his like, I've never heard of him.
I know he's in with like some of the kid cartoons.
Oh, okay. Is that Teen Titans?
Yeah, Teen Titans.
Okay, now I know him now. Yeah, I never knew who he was, but yeah, I do remember now. In Teen Titans. The
cartoons, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But I never read any of his comics or any of the standalone comics. I don't know much about Cyborg.
Yeah, like whoever's managing DC Comics, man, they need to
step up their game.
Yeah, or retire.
Yeah.
Give it to somebody else.
Somebody who can create a universe.
Yeah, man, because when I think of comics or comic book movies or, I just think of Marvel.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, DC, like, ain't doing nothing, man. Like, it's a shame, dude.
Yeah. And as far as TV shows, I thought Punisher on Netflix was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch that. That's DC, right?
Marvel.
Oh, that's Marvel?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch that. Yeah, I've just been watching a lot of movies and stuff like that. And I found a great TV show. I started watching. I watched the first season, and I think they had 2 seasons. So I watched those 2, and then they got a new season. So the show's called Alone. You ever seen that?
I haven't seen it. I've heard about it. My wife's watched it.
Man, dude, that's an interesting show. So basically, what it is they got these people. Those people are used to living in the outdoors, know how to hunt and fish and stuff like that. basically, they get 10 people and put them on different islands and stuff like that, different locations.
Yep.
And whoever survives the longest wins. I think the first 2 seasons, the amount was I think $200,000 or $250,000.
Oh dang!
But this season though, it's last 100 days, and you win $1 million.
Huh?
Yeah, like, that's some big bucks right there, man. You think you'd be able to do it?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if I would be able to do it because, like, watching the show, man, it's like those guys are upbeat, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make it, and then something happens, and they get discouraged, and
Yep.
because the big part of it is the mental game.
Yeah, I think that would be the entire game is the mental game.
Yeah, because I remember
you're alone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're recording everything. Like, there's
Yeah.
nobody. I think like doctors and like producers come like once a week or maybe once a month to check up on you.
Yeah.
And doctors weigh you and check you for stuff. Actually, the doctors could kick you out.
Huh.
Yeah, if you like lose too much weight.
Yep.
Or if you got like a pretty bad injury. Yeah, they make you stop.
Huh.
Yeah. So you got to keep eating and make sure you got a good nutrition and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy, I think he was eating was it moose or caribou, something like that. But whatever it was didn't have that much fat.
No.
So he kept losing weight. He got kicked off.
Oh wow.
Yeah, even though he had a whole moose to eat.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So you just need to eat more.
He got to eat a lot of fish and other, like, diversify his meals and stuff like that. But he thought, hey, I got this moose, it's going to last a long time, but he wasn't getting enough fat.
Dang.
So he got kicked off the show, man. And there was this one dude, he lost his, so in the show, you're allowed to bring, I think, 10 items with you.
Okay.
So people, of course, going to bring like a lighter or something to start a fire with. So once he lost that, he gave up because he couldn't do nothing else. You know what I mean? Even though he's like a survival expert, like, dude, you're supposed to know how to start a fire.
Yeah.
The old fashioned way. But, he got discouraged and, he just quit right after that.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. It's just, so a lot of stuff that I watched him eat is like rabbits and stuff. I think somebody killed a wolverine. Moose.
Oh, so they're up in the northwest then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They I've also seen there's a guy, he killed a squirrel with a rock. Like, he just threw it.
I've heard squirrels taste pretty good. I've never had a squirrel before.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't think I would survive, man. Because I'm not a picky eater, but there's certain things I wouldn't eat.
I don't know if I'd eat a wolverine.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a lot of meat and probably has a lot of fat too, but like, I don't know, man. I'm too selective.
Yeah. I don't want to eat any kind of scavenger type of animals.
Yeah, unless I get like fish and maybe a moose or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd even eat a rabbit. Would you eat a rabbit?
Yeah, I've eaten rabbit.
Oh yeah? What does it taste like?
Chicken.
Typical answer, huh?
No, it doesn't really have much of a taste to it. Can kind of make it taste like anything, but it kind of feels a cross between chicken and frog legs.
Yeah, I've tried frog legs before. I don't think I liked them because I knew what it was.
Yeah. I just got to imagine them as little tiny chicken wings.
Yeah. When I was in Kuwait, I actually ate a camel.
Yep.
Dude, you ever had goat?
Yeah. Goats.
Dude, it tastes just like goat.
Yep.
Like nice and tender. And yeah, I didn't think I would like it, but the Kuwaitis, I didn't want to embarrass them. They offered it to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try it. It's like, I'll try it. And then I actually liked it. I was like, wow. Like, those guys over there, man, the Kuwaitis, like, they know how to cook.
Yeah, they do.
Like, those guys, like, like one thing I noticed, like, traveling abroad and stuff like that is in America, there's like this tradition where, it's the woman that takes care of the house, the woman that cooks and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But in those countries, it's mostly the men that cook.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I think women cook as well, but everywhere I've seen is men like cooking stuff.
I think it depends. Like I think my understanding is women cook in the home and take care of the home that way.
Okay.
But when they're out, like when I was working there, the men were cooking at work. They rarely ever ordered anything for delivery or anything like that. Most of them cooked on their own.
Gotcha.
And it was usually just one of their turns for that night, and one of them would cook. There's a couple of them that would try to cook all the time, but I think it just depended on if you were in their home, then their wife would cook, or if you were out of their home, they would cook.
Yeah, I just found that interesting because a bunch of different cultures, they're a complete 180, compared to us.
Yeah.
And, especially like type of foods and stuff they eat.
A lot of rice.
Yeah. I love rice, man.
Yep.
It's my culture. And one thing I noticed as well is that in America, the rice is considered a side.
Yeah.
But in other countries, like that's the main course, and then the meat is a side.
Yep.
And whatever else you get is a side. Kind of like the Kuwaitis. We sat on the floor to eat, and they'll have this huge pile of rice in the middle.
Oh yeah.
And then the meat around it, and then they have the sauce and stuff in a little bowl, and you just pour it on your little portion and you eat with your hands.
Yep. Yeah, I think America has a very weird proportion system when it comes to food.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be really big, oversized, tons of overabundance of food.
Yeah, they have huge plates, man.
Yeah.
Huge.
It's like when you go out to a restaurant, you're usually getting 2-3 servings for everything they eat. And most everybody eats it all while they're at the restaurant.
Yeah.
But outside of the US, most of the proportions are a lot smaller.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. Especially like I think the US wastes like billions and billions of dollars on food.
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah, every year. And I kind of noticed that when you seen the Tiger King show on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were saying that, they used to go in the back of Walmart and get food, like, spoiled food. Yeah, like just get them for the tigers. So you basically were feeding them for free.
Yeah, and putting it on their pizza.
Like, man, like that's a lot of food. And
that's every day.
Is that like, I guess the question I'm asking is like, is it because it's inhumane that, homeless people don't get that food? Like, that's what I'm kind of confused about. Because we waste a whole lot of food, but we don't give it to the homeless and stuff like that, or people that need it. You know what I mean? Because if I'm homeless and I don't have any food, man, like I don't care. I'll eat anything.
Yeah, I think that's a societal problem. A societal problem and a money problem.
Yeah.
I think, from my understanding, if a store throws it away, now they can count it as a loss. But if they give it away,
that's messed up.
It's not a loss.
Yeah, that's very messed up.
It's more cost effective for a store to throw the food away than it is to give it away.
Yeah, that's not right.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, because there's no reason why America's homeless problem should be as bad as it is.
And it's not even homeless. It's if you go to areas in the country where people have lower incomes who can't afford food.
Mm-hmm.
I know in our area where we live, I know there's families that only get one meal a day.
Wow. Really?
And that's another reason why it's so important for these kids to go to school, because they're at least able to get breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, but don't because I remember when I was in school, when it was a public school, my dad still had to pay for my lunch.
Yeah.
So are they getting it for free, or are the parents paying for it?
It's almost 50% of the kids in our county gets free or reduced lunches. I think it actually is closer to 60%.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of kids that count on those meals.
Yeah, because I've heard stories in the news actually where a parent, failed to pay for their kids' lunch for like a month or so, and then they just stopped feeding the kid.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen any of it
Mm.
personally, but I've heard in other parts of the U.S. that's happened before. Or they'll just completely embarrass the kid when it's out of the kid's control.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, we got kids in school and, parents can't afford to feed them, and, everybody else is eating in the cafeteria.
Yep.
And they're just sitting there watching and crying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's sad.
And I think that's a huge societal problem when we can waste this overabundance of food that we do have. And the communities aren't going to give enough away, or stores in those communities can't give enough away to actually support.
Yeah, because the food in the schools is not like it's premium food,
No.
It's like MRE food, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not like they're eating great.
No, not as great as they could be eating.
Yeah.
It's still, for the most part, nutritious.
Yeah.
But it'll get them day by day.
Yeah.
Basically.
The cheapest things that they could get, like rice and pizza, make their own pizza and stuff like those, the square pizzas.
I think they stopped doing, I know for my kids, when they were going to public school, pizza was only like once a week.
Oh, yeah?
And
they're trying to be health conscious now?
Yeah, a lot more health conscious. Way more than I thought it would be. I think a lot of that had to do with Michelle Obama and trying to restructure the food program.
Oh.
So the choices are healthier. The portions aren't as big, I noticed. And even with my kids, they would always come home and immediately want to eat something. So I know they weren't getting enough food at school and they want to come home and eat snacks, but they're also growing teenagers who eat
kids
by
kids eat a lot. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's another thing too, like the portion sizes in America, because you remember back in the day at McDonald's, you get like a huge cup of whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I think the guy who imposed the law where, restaurants had to post calories on all their items and stuff like that, and then they limit the size of cups as well.
I know New York limits the size, from my understanding.
Yeah, New York started it, right?
Yeah, and Europe.
Yeah, but it went national, where everything needed to have like the calories on them and stuff that, so people know.
Yeah, I don't think people care. They just want a large Coke.
That's another thing too, man. Because I've read, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't drink anything that's diet, but I heard like diet products are not as good for you as people think.
No, they're not. Because anytime that you have artificial things, so in the diet, it's artificial sweetener, aspartame. That's not naturally made for the most part. So now you got something that's overprocessed, artificially made. Anytime you put anything artificially made, it's never great for your body. So it's better for you if you can just have the stuff with the real sugar.
At least enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you think? Because I've seen people seem to be addicted to like Diet Coke or Diet whatever. Like,
yeah.
You think there's something in it that's addicting?
Sweeteners.
That's the thing. Like, I'm sure you've accidentally bought a diet drink before, and you're like, man, like, and because you open it up, you drink it like, oh man, it's diet.
Yeah.
Because I've done it a few times. To me, it tastes nasty.
It does. I don't like the taste.
It tastes like watered down something.
Yeah, and then there's like a weird aftertaste with the sweetener or whatever they're using for it.
Yeah, I don't know why like people love it like that. Like it has to be addicting.
We're Americans, and everything has to have sugar in it. And then sugar is one of the most addictive substances in the planet. Yeah,
that's true. I've heard it's more addicting than cocaine.
Yeah,
actually. And one of the weird things too, when you haven't had sugar in a while, like your body starts giving you signs.
Yep.
Like, hey, you need some sugar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you start craving it.
Just like having no caffeine for a while. If you're used to caffeine, sugar does the same kind of side effects.
I get that experience with meat as well.
Yeah.
Like when I haven't had, protein or whatever in a while, and then my body's like, you need a piece of steak.
Yep.
You need to go get some piece of whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, man, because your body tells you everything you need.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it just...
Most people don't listen. That's a problem.
Yeah, it's true, man. Like, the body's a amazing thing, man. You gotta take care of it.
Yep.
But at the same time, man, it's just that dopamine.
Yeah.
It's you get it in you. Like, makes you want all kinds of things. So you get that same feeling again.
Yeah.
Even though it's not bad, it's not good for you.
No.
Because a lot of people, smoke and, drink. Yeah, it's not good for you, but it just makes you feel good.
Yeah. And that goes with any addictive type of thing.
Yeah.
So they're finding studies now with kids and social media. The number of likes they get releases a dopamine.
Yeah.
And they get addicted to trying to get likes.
That. Yeah.
Which it's not a good thing for a kid to do.
Yeah, I think it was Instagram or Facebook, but they started this experiment in a small town in Canada, I believe, where they stopped showing how many likes you have.
Huh.
Yeah, to see how that affects people. Because you remember back then, I think it's global now, but they started that experiment a while back. So now you're not able to see, or people are not able to see how many likes something has. It just says this person and others liked it.
Yeah.
On Facebook or wherever you go. It doesn't say 100 likes or whatever anymore.
Huh.
A lot of people had some issues with that, but I found that very interesting, man. Like people really care about how many likes they have.
Yeah. And I think if you kind of analyze it from a psychological view, maybe they're missing that social interaction, and that's what it's being replaced by.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're missing the social interaction. I think it's more of a acceptance thing where, they got friends in school, if they post something, and they get like 100 likes, they could go to their friends, say, hey, I got a lot of likes too, this and that. And I guess, I don't know, it's just feel more accepted.
Yeah.
Somebody like their pictures, they're like, oh, okay, that's confirmation that I look good in that picture, or that's confirmation that, hey, I'm doing this right, or I'm doing that right, and stuff like that. So I think that has a lot to do with it too.
Just that social acceptance feeling.
Yeah, to be accepted by others. I don't know, man. Like I never really care about that stuff. Like I rarely use Facebook.
I use Facebook to sell stuff.
Yeah,
that's
like
really what I use it for.
I go on there like once a week just to catch up and see what my actual friends are doing.
Yeah,
but like I rarely post anything, man.
Favorite part is using Facebook to get all my news.
I use Twitter to get my news.
Yeah,
because man, it's like Twitter is the wild wild west.
Yeah, it is. Twitter is extremely wild,
dude. This new thing called the cancel culture.
Yeah.
Man, that is something else, man.
It's getting out of hand.
Yeah, a lot. Because it's kind of like fishing, man. Like they're fishing. They're like, who we gonna cancel next? Who we gonna cancel next? Instead of just waiting for somebody to, basically mess up.
Yeah.
To point it out. But instead they're like seeking it. Yeah, which I think is wrong.
Yeah. They are.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it because it's just all over the place. Like any little thing somebody says is like, oh, he's canceled. Like, everybody just jumps on the train.
Yeah, they do, and it's especially in the United States, because we're such a mixture of everybody around the world. Like you can't go anywhere in the United States and it just be 100%. I don't even know how to say it. Like homegrown American, or I wouldn't even say it. I don't even know. Like there's no area in the United States where it's just 100% American people that have been raised here for generations and generations.
Yeah, that's true.
Everywhere that you go, there's people all over the world that live here with all of their cultures and all of their experiences. So no matter what anybody does, it's always going to be different from somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you're always going to offend somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because people have gotten more sensitive or, that's just how it is. I don't know what it is, but no matter what you say, man, like you're always going to offend at least one person.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this podcast is probably going to offend somebody. But on the flip side, there's 8 billion people in the world. Mm-hmm. So no matter what you do, somebody's going to like it and somebody's going to offend it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people that they just look to find problems with things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not about, just listening or, anything anymore. It's just, let me do this to find something wrong with it. Let me do this. Like they don't care about enjoying anything. They just want to find a problem with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and then they just start sharing it and everybody else pile on and then just total mess, man.
Yeah. The problem that I see with the cancel culture is because we have literally everybody in the world in the United States. So that is our major asset because we can transcend any culture through at least somebody in the United States. So we're a worldwide country because of that. And when you start canceling culture, now you're taking that away. You're taking these little bits and pieces away that make America, America. Mm-hmm. And instead of trying to find the best parts of those cultures and integrating into our culture and take the best from everybody, we're trying to push everything out.
Yeah.
And when you push everything out, you're going to be left with nothing instead of the best from everything.
Yeah. I mean, there's also a good side to cancel culture as well, which I think is bringing awareness, but once they bring that awareness, the way they go about it, to destroy somebody. I mean, some people deserve it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I personally don't feel like one mistake in your life, because one of the main things that cancel culture does is go way in the past into something that somebody said like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. And
try to cancel them today. You know what I mean? Because I believe that people grow, people evolve and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a freaking teenager, there's plenty of things I said that, thinking now is like, wow, like who is this person?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I just don't think you should cancel somebody for something they said 10, 15, 20 years ago.
No.
Have them address it, see what their response is, see if they still feel the same way, and then take it from there. But, it was a long time ago. Like,
I know for me, I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago or 15 years ago or even last year.
Yeah, people evolve, views change, because you remember back then, like even 10 years ago, people were a lot more homophobic. And, when they saw like a gay couple holding hands, you give them a, double take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now it's a normal thing. You know what I mean? Like people used to use those slurs a lot back then. And, now it's not, socially acceptable anymore. And, if you did hear somebody say it, you'd kind of question them a little bit or look at them funny, you know what I mean? Because the world changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just feel like if you go back, a perfect example of this, it's kind of like somebody, like, let's say on a highway, the speed limit was 60, last week. And then today it's 55. You can't give me a ticket for when the speed limit was 60, even though it's 55 today, because it changed.
It changed. Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the same idea. Things change. You can't try to cancel people for something that happened a long time ago.
Yep.
You know, just listen them out. You know, listen to them, and see what their views are today, and see if it's different, and take it from there. But it's pointless.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, too many things.
At least try to listen and figure out what their intentions are.
Yes,
so I think for the most part, everybody has good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that goes for nearly everybody in the world. But even though their intentions may be good, their execution may be bad, and their execution is only based on their knowledge that they have at the time of their execution.
Yeah, a lot of people, they hate doing research, man. That's one of the biggest problems. Like, just word of mouth. Yeah, like they see something somewhere.
Yep.
They want to jump on the bandwagon.
Yep.
They don't want to do their own research and actually find out what the problem is, or if they agree with it or not.
We're seeing that today now more than ever. I think everybody's just jumping on a bandwagon. Like a funny video I saw. Forgot what the lady's name was. Doing an interview with two other girls, and these two girls asked her if she was going to vote for Trump, and she said yeah. And they said, "Well, you're a racist." And I think that's just them jumping on a bandwagon instead of actually doing the research.
Yeah.
And she fires right back. "So are you guys voting for Biden?" And they said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, you're a pedophile." So I mean, that's the kind of logic that we're dealing with.
I saw that video.
Doing the research of why is one candidate better than the other, or what would that candidate do for the United States?
And the crazy thing is, I'd say like a good 50% of those people, whether you're on Biden's side or whether you're on Trump's side, don't really know his politics.
No, they don't.
You know what I mean? Like they couldn't tell you one plan or one, like anything about those candidates. All they know is, just the stuff that's circulating in the media and, stuff like that, whatever their family goes along with, or friends and, other groups.
Yeah. And that goes to being socially accepted in their circles.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If I had a bunch of friends that wanted to vote Trump and I said, I want to vote Trump, then that would be okay. But if I had a bunch of friends that said they wanted to vote Biden and I said, I want to vote Trump, then that wouldn't be okay, or vice versa.
Absolutely. And then they start, throwing like, those types of rhetorics at you and stuff like that. Like, oh, you're a rapist. Oh, this guy want to hate Mexicans. You want to, do this, do that. Like that's what they go off on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Instead of actually using logic in their brains for once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like everybody want to jump on a bandwagon and stuff like that, and don't like doing research and stuff.
No.
Joe Biden. So originally he said he wanted to pick a black woman as his vice president.
Yeah, originally.
But recently, he's kind of walked back, on that initial quote, and said, is looking for somebody, who's qualified, this and that. Do you think he needs that to be viewed as electable, or do you think it doesn't matter?
I think it matters.
Oh, yeah.
I think it matters to the people who are actually going to do the research. I think the people who already have it set in mind they're going to vote for him or Trump, they don't care.
Yeah.
But for the people who are ultimately going to do the research and really try to figure out who the best candidate would be, I think who Biden surrounds himself with is a big deal. Yeah,
because like you were saying, a lot of people just want to vote for Biden because they hate Trump.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, I don't agree with that at all, man. Like, that makes no sense.
Nope. It's dumb. It's ridiculous.
That makes no sense at all.
No.
Like, you wouldn't make that type of decision about your livelihood, in your life and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
picking something random just because you don't like that. You know what I mean?
It's like saying I'm going to go shop at Publix because they have the most expensive meat just because I hate Kroger. And they got the same cut of meat.
Yeah.
It's the same
Just
logic.
packaging.
Yeah, just the package.
The packaging is more appealing to the eye. Like that's one of those things that grocery stores do, to entice people to come. But it is the exact same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, kind of like when I used to work for Sears as a home appliance salesman a while back, and a lot of people don't know. A lot of people would come in and say, hey, I want a Kenmore. I don't want a Whirlpool. I want a Kenmore. Kenmore is way better at this, and that. And I'm like, did you know Whirlpool makes Kenmores?
Yeah.
Like they just put Kenmore on it. But that was, Sears' exclusive brand that they had with Whirlpool. But like, it's all about branding, man. Like they just trick you, but people fall for it.
Yeah, all the time.
You know what I mean? So back to the Biden thing. So I would say one of the biggest problems is that, the Democrats historically have always taken the black vote for granted.
Yes.
They always assume automatically, hey, because you're black, you're going to vote Democrat.
Yes.
You even saw a snippet of that with an interview that Joe Biden did with Charlemagne the God a few weeks ago. And he said, oh, you ain't black if you don't vote for me.
Yep.
Like, really?
Yep.
Like, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, they just take the black vote for granted. And I feel like, as a black person, I don't think my community has done enough to be like, hey, these are our demands. This is what we want.
Yep.
If you're not willing to comply, you don't get our vote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've always just, but I think, the tides are changing, especially, with the state of the US right now. And, there've been a lot more demands and stuff like that. Biden, that's why he initially said that he wanted a black woman on his ticket, because of that.
He just wanted to swing votes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But
and me personally, I think that's racist. I don't say that very often, but just to put somebody on your team because of the color of their skin, like that's racism at its peak right there.
Yeah.
It's he's using it in a manipulative way to get votes.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's very wrong.
A lot of people don't see it that way though.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they look at it as he's supportive, his he cares about the black community, he want us in that White House with him, this and that. That's how they look at it. But if you take a step back,
you look at everything that Biden's done throughout his political history, he is not
94 crime bill.
Yep, he is not for the black community.
Yeah. 94 crime bill, that's nothing that people don't talk about a lot because that's put, and he's still proud of it to this day. You know what I mean? Like that bill put so many black people in jail.
Yep.
For the pettiest crimes. And then also Clinton had the three strike law.
Yep.
And no matter what it is, you go to jail 3 times, you're locked up. Was it like 25 years or life or something?
Yeah,
like
I think
that?
it was 25 years. It was a long time.
Yeah, like, no matter what it is, man, like that's ridiculous. And then the black community, I saw somebody on the news. He was like, yeah, Bill Clinton was the first black president. Like, Bill Clinton don't give a shit about you, bro.
Nope. He just wanted your vote so he can get into office.
Like all the stuff that he did, maybe it wasn't intentional or whatever. Maybe he initially thought what he was doing was right. But still, you got to own up to it, man.
Yeah.
Like, if I make a mistake, I find out how, to make things better and erase the mistake I made.
Yep. Or at least write it.
Yeah. But if somebody don't even acknowledge it or even call it like Joe Biden's doing right now, like everybody you ask will tell you the 94 crime bill was a horrible thing. And Joe Biden, comes out, he's like, yeah, I wrote the bill, this and that, it worked out great or whatever. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like a lot of people they don't care. They just want, hey, I want Trump out. That's all I care about. I don't care who he's going against, but I want Trump out. So the Republicans, they I think they figured out a way, to win the election, and that's by using Kanye West. Because I've seen, I read an article that they said that the Republicans have been giving support to Kanye West.
Yep.
The only reason they'd be doing that is to steal votes from Biden.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Kanye, is a registered Democrat.
I don't know what he's registered as. I didn't dig into it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's the goal here.
Yeah, it's all a big mess of a game. It's all a ridiculous game for the people in political offices right now.
Yes.
And the way I see it, majority of them don't care about the people that elected them into office. Yeah,
man. Like, everybody in there has some kind of dirt on them.
Yeah.
Everybody.
There's very few Senate or congressmen that are
like, a lot of people legit. Like, don't know, but like, those shows that we watch, about politics and stuff like that. Like House of Cards.
Yeah.
Those type of shows.
Yep.
I know they may seem over the top, but some of the stuff, like, they're getting some of the stuff from somewhere, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like a lot of dirt that these guys have, and they become puppets when you get to a certain level because how much dirt somebody has on them.
To me, it's Game of Thrones in suits.
Yeah, like, especially the NRA, dude. The NRA, believe it or not, like, knows a lot of stuff about these people, and they hold them like
they do,
like puppets, man.
Yep.
So another thing I was surprised about too. Like, I only found out about this recently. So the NRA has like a rating for each politician.
Yeah.
And depending on how supporting they are of the NRA, they get like a or a B or Or if you speak out against them, you get like a D or an F or something like that. That's weird, man.
Yeah, but
I think lobbyists run the country, not politicians.
They do, which I think we need to get a lot of lobbyists out. I think that politicians need to listen to the people that elected them more than a lobbyist. So I think we need a reform on how politics get done.
Yeah, like, I think the biggest problem we have is the two-party system, like the two major party systems.
Yep.
Because once a party enacts a law, when the other group, gets the majority of the votes next term, they just repeal it.
Yeah.
And change it. Or, try to make it as bad as, possible. Kind of like the Obamacare that we talked about at work together. And, the initial plan, was a great one.
Yeah, the initial plan was pretty solid. Like, it would have helped a lot of people. But then politics got involved, and Republicans and Democrats tore it all apart. And the Obamacare Act that Obama intended is not the Obamacare Act that we got. It's completely different. The only thing it carries is the name.
Yeah. And, they made it horrible and then pass it.
Yeah.
So that next time around, they can say, oh, this plan is horrible. We need to repeal it.
Yeah.
Like, that's not people that care about Americans.
You screwed it up.
Yeah. like, it's horrible because of what you guys did to it.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how you take care of Americans, man.
No. Like, I look at it as, it would be like me giving my kids a box of matches and saying, you guys can start fires anywhere in the house. And then as soon as they start a fire, I'd be like, now you guys are grounded for life. Like, it's the same kind of logic that our politicians are using. They're creating messes so that they can create a solution to that mess. Just, I don't know. They're running on hamster wheels. It's dumb. It's the dumbest things I've seen.
No, like, I really don't know how America survived this long with this 2-party system, man. Like, it's just weird to me.
Yeah. It's
Like this back and forth, back and forth. Like, man, I guess it's a good balance of power, I guess you could say. I don't know.
I,
Because it's so weird, man. Like how this nation got so powerful, with
yeah.
that 2-party system.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because it seems like nobody wants to work together.
No. Nobody wants to get real things done.
Yeah. Like it's always like party over everything.
Yep.
Like party over country, party over everything.
Which I think if they started putting America first.
Well, that's the goal that they sell. That's the dream that they sell every time. They're running for an office.
Yeah.
Like, oh, America, this make America great. This and that. Like that's what they sell to everybody, and people just suck it up, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't, because if you think about it, man, for as long as I've lived, every election I've watched, every campaign I've watched, this is the same thing over and over and over.
Yep.
If things were getting done, people would run out of things to run on.
Yeah, they would.
You know what I mean? Because it's always the same thing: healthcare, education, security, over and over.
And if you look, though, Trump is probably one of the few that's actually made good on majority of his promises.
Yeah, like I would say so too.
And at least he's trying.
Yeah.
But then we've got Senate and the House that don't like him, so they're putting roadblocks up instead of actually working together and finding solutions to these problems that we've had for years and years and years.
Yeah, like I'm not a Trump supporter, but I respect somebody that does exactly what they say they're gonna do. You know what I mean? Because we had a lot of politicians before that they said they're gonna do a million different things and not even do one. You know what I mean? So although I disagree with a lot of things that he does or says, I respect the fact that he actually does it.
Yeah.
I think even tries to do it.
I think a lot of the problem why people don't like him is because as a president, you're kind of put on this pedestal. So there's a certain way that you should act, a certain way that you shouldn't act based on what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons they don't like him, because he doesn't act like any other president we've had.
Yeah, absolutely. Like even the way he speaks, what I mean? He doesn't speak like well, I guess you could say he's not presidential, but he doesn't speak like a professional.
No, he speaks like
he dumbs down everything.
Speaks like the average American would speak.
Yeah. So like if I seen him, and talked to him, like I wouldn't consider him a professional, because I don't know, he just doesn't give me that vibe. Even though, he's a billionaire and ran a bunch of different businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It just seems like he doesn't I mean, I'm sure he does, but he doesn't know any big words or anything like that.
Yeah. And I don't know how much of that is just for him.
Yeah, I don't know if he's playing people. I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I don't know if he's playing people or if that's really how he is. But one thing I've noticed, like I've seen like old footage and stuff of like Trump in the 90s and stuff like that. And it's like a completely different person.
Very different.
It's like, what happened to that guy?
Yep.
Like, it's like completely different. He doesn't even speak the same.
No, very different.
Yeah. So, I don't know if he's, doing it for, political gain, but
maybe it's just to keep everything simple.
Yeah.
That could just be his only game, is just to keep it simple so everybody understands what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as presidents, I think he's the only one that's made good on majority of his promises to the best that he can.
Yeah.
Because even Obama wasn't able to fulfill a lot of his promises. Bush wasn't. Clinton wasn't. Bush before him wasn't. So it's just, and that goes back probably all the way till Lincoln. Lincoln was probably the last president to make good on some of his promises.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference with him is the fact that, well, his personality and his resilience.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with Obama and Bush, when they got pushed back from like, Democrats or Republicans and stuff like that. They just let it go. They're like, "Oh, okay, whatever."
Yeah.
But Trump, publicly, talks bad about people, publicly denounces people, and, he fires people. So there is like a level of fear with him.
Yeah.
And he uses other things to put pressure on people so that they can approve what he wants.
Yeah.
Basically. So he's willing to play dirty.
Yep.
And I don't think other people wanted to play dirty.
No, they didn't. They want to keep a lot of stuff under the rug.
Yeah. Cause
and Trump's like, screw the rug.
Yeah, cause Trump, man, like I feel like there's like a line and he's like, he teeters up and down on the line. All the time and stuff like that. And I don't know how he hasn't gotten in trouble yet, but they tried.
Yeah, they keep trying. But I think ultimately, Trump has good intentions for the country as a whole. I would like to see more Congress and Senate have good intentions too. And I'd like to see everybody actually get along to get things accomplished.
Yeah, even stimulus bill 2.0, like
they can't get it figured out.
Like that makes no sense to me, man. Like
nope.
So you declare a national emergency saying that there's a global pandemic.
Yep.
Right? You shut down everything.
Yep.
And then now you're telling me that the aid that you're supposed to bring Americans, workers, families, businesses, you're telling me you can't agree on that bill, because for a lot of people it's life and death.
Yeah, it is. It's whether they're going to be able to eat or have a roof over their heads.
Yeah. And you tell me you can't agree on that to save Americans or help Americans out. There's like, just imagine, man, if you were a new business owner this year, like January or the end of last year, like your business is done. Like you just took a huge loan.
Yep.
You just spent so much money on everything. Some people probably took equity from their houses.
Yep. Even businesses that are 5 years old.
Yeah.
Smaller businesses.
Yeah, like
they're all struggling.
Dude, bars, their margins were already real slim.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me they can't have 100% occupancy.
Nope.
So they can't even break even.
Nope.
They have to shut down. They're going to be operating at a loss every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's majority of the small businesses or the American dream businesses, I guess you could call it. They're going to be operating at a loss for a while.
Yeah, man, that's sad, dude.
And then Congress can't get their act together to be able to help anybody because while they're trying to approve these stimulus packages, they keep throwing other BS into it. They're saying, well, I'll give you the money you need, but we need to do this, 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 and this. Instead of just saying, here's the money, let's get it up, you back up on your feet. They're doing it with stipulations. That'd be like, it'd be the same equivalent as helping a homeless man say, I'll give you some water, but you gotta mow my lawn, mow my neighbor's lawn, and get a job and do all this other stuff just for a glass of water.
Yeah, man, there's some things that don't need to be politicized, and that's one of them.
No, yeah, it doesn't at all.
Like, this is Americans, welfare right there. Like, that's their lives.
Yep.
Like, you need to do something, and you need to do it quick to, get things going.
But on the flip side, too, I think as communities, smaller communities, we've failed those around us, too. Because nobody in smaller communities, like those of us who have and those of us who don't have right now, nobody's picking up the slack. We're all expecting the government to do stuff.
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but in a way, that's the role of the government, though. Because a lot of people right now, they're uncertain about their future, the future of their businesses or whatever they got going on as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if when you get scared or when you get fearful, what you do is, you hold your resources and stuff closer because you don't know how much longer you will have them. But if you start giving them away and things get worse, you're like, oh man, the government ain't doing shit for me and I'm doing shit for other people and now I don't have anything.
Yeah, and I think that's one way of looking at it. But the other way is the government, they aren't supposed to be our mom and dad. So
yeah, but you're absolutely right.
So I think
you should not depend on the government to do things, but the government historically has been operating as mom and dad.
They have.
So, I think it's their fault.
Kind of, but I think it's because we've gotten used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we as smaller communities have stopped helping out our neighbors, have stopped helping out our brothers, our sisters. When, we could just hang on to all that stuff because we might not know if we're going to let it go or whatnot. But if you help them where they're on their feet and then they're able to help somebody else on their feet, now you've got a whole bunch of people who are now back on their feet. So when you do fall, they can help you. So I think if people are able to let it go a little bit and help those around them first, it's going to come back eventually. Yeah. So the more people that we have back up on their feet, the less of an impact it would have.
I think different religious groups operate like that, like the Amish and maybe Mormons and stuff like that. Like it's an actual community where they take care of each other. But, like major cities and stuff like that, like people, survival of the fittest, man.
Yeah. And I think that's something that we've gotten away from.
Yeah.
So I think if you look 100 years ago, mostly the communities would help each other out a lot more than what we do now. And I think a lot of that has been brought on just because of technology.
Mm-hmm.
For one, everybody's got the mindset of I'm out for me alone and to get mine. So I think it's a bunch of cultural shifts, and it's one of those cultural shifts that we probably should have hung on to.
Yeah.
To be able to help the community. It's one of those culture things that we should have not canceled.
Yeah.
Really.
That's true. So I'm sure if you saw on the news, but Lebanon had a huge explosion.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it was a chemical plant, right?
I don't remember what it was, either chemical plant or some sort of factory that had a bunch of chemicals.
Yeah, but so as of now, 100 people are dead, and they believe there's plenty more underneath the rubbles. So when I first saw the video, man, I thought it was like a atom bomb. Like they dropped on. I thought it was some kind of attack.
That's what I thought. It looked like a bunker buster.
Yeah, like that's was what I thought. A huge explosion.
So there's in Beirut, so 4 of its hospitals out of service due to damage by the explosion.
Wow.
So they've got thousands of people who are injured, 100 or so dead. 135 people were killed and 5,000 wounded.
Wow.
And that's according to CNN. But nobody knows what the cause of it was. It was 2,750 metric tons of explosive ammonium nitrate stored in a warehouse.
Wow.
So a giant bomb, basically.
Wow. That's crazy. And the worst part, is those people that survived, those 5,000 wounded, they might get like radiation poisoning.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what ammonium nitrate does to bodies.
Yeah, because if you're a certain distance from huge explosion like that, that usually happens.
Probably gonna have some long-term effects. Yeah. This is on top of a pandemic when the hospitals are already operating fuller than normal. Like, it's definitely not a good thing. I personally don't think it was an attack. I think it was just an accident. Just judging by the videos, it looked like there was a fire before and just a whole bad chain of events.
Yeah, it's just certain things can't be accidents, man.
Yeah, and that's something that runs in the back of my mind
Yeah.
is I don't know.
Like I'm not sure if it was a power plant or whatever it is, but it had something to do with chemicals. But if you're a private company or maybe even the government was in charge of it, if you have something like that, it does not need to be what looks like the heart of a city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it looked like to me. Because
Yeah.
I saw like a bunch of different vantage points and stuff like that. It looked like it was right dead in the city.
I think it's like right on their coast.
Yeah. Like that's too
So
close.
at the port.
Yeah, that's
basically.
too close to, people.
Yeah.
Like people were in their hotels or in their balconies at their apartments,
Yep.
watching it, and they still got affected
Yeah.
by the explosion.
Which that's a huge explosion.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it would be if you calculate it into TNT, but it would have been.
Dude, I've seen a lot of
huge.
nuclear explosions. That's
It looked
probably
like
the
that.
biggest one. That's probably the biggest one I've seen.
Yeah, it looked like watching old footage of nuclear test sites out in Nevada.
Yeah, because some of the camera angles look pretty far away.
Yeah.
And then when it exploded, you're like, oh my God, it's still huge.
Yeah. With a mushroom cloud and then the shockwave right after, too.
Yeah, I think there was a guy on the bridge driving in his car and the shockwave reached him.
Yeah. That's just.
Yeah, I think his car flipped over. Like, that is crazy, man. Especially like you were saying in a pandemic, that's the last thing you need right now because a lot of people, still recovering, especially hospitals.
Yeah.
I don't know what the, COVID rates were, over there in Lebanon, but man.
When their medical supplies, they're running out of medical supplies due to financial crisis because of Corona. So it's a whole bunch of stuff all piled and compounded together and made a really bad situation even worse.
Yeah, man. Hopefully things, get better for them because, I think the death toll is gonna, rise as they start doing cleanup and stuff like that. But man, it's a horrible story, man.
And I think this is one of those prime examples of, even though it's another country, us as a country that does have, and other countries that do have, now would be the time to be able to send them supplies that they need.
Yeah, absolutely. But politics is always going to get involved.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, we help you, do this for us and this and that. It shouldn't be like that, man.
Nope.
It's just humanity.
It shouldn't. But unfortunately, it probably will be because of that mentality of if I do something for you, you got to do something for me. Yeah. Instead of just being able to freely give without any strings attached.
Yeah, that's.
I hope our country can freely help them without any strings attached, at least for once.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. Another thing I've realized with when you have national tragedies like that is you always see these things saying, hey, donate to this charity, so we can help Lebanon or help, wherever place and stuff like that. And they only get 5 cents, off a dollar.
Yeah. Very little money.
The rest of the money goes to fees or whatever stuff that they make up. That's sad, man. Like, I understand, there's processing fees and stuff like that, but
not to that.
Like,
shouldn't be that
95%.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, man. It's just, a lot of people are always looking for opportunities. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They see an opportunity in a disastrous situation and, they want to take advantage of it.
Yeah. And we've seen that throughout history.
Yeah. It's sad.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Hopefully the world, changes, but, I doubt it, man. Things might be getting worse before it gets even a little better.
Yeah. I think that's right now. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing things get worse. Well, we're seeing things being tore down.
Yeah.
And restructured. Because from my point of view, you can't build something new when you got something old in the way.
Yeah.
And I think right now a lot of people are realizing that. So we're slowly tearing down some ideas and some other stuff. And I'm hoping the 2-party system gets torn down because we're seeing how horrible that is right now. We're seeing the Democrats and Republicans constantly fighting, and Americans are getting fed up with it. And right now, it looks like the early stages of it being torn down.
Yeah. Hopefully, there is a change, but I don't know, man. It'd be very hard for me to see that type of change happen. Because the main thing, America is real big on tradition and Constitution. Yep. And if something's in the Constitution, that's how it's gonna be. Nothing can ever change it. You know what I mean? So, we'll see, but I really doubt it, because I feel like, another politician will just come around, tell people dreams, and they'll fall right back into the the maze, and just fall for it over and over and over and over again. That's a constant cycle, man.
They often say history repeats itself, but Mark Twain said history never repeats itself, but it sure rhymes, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really repeat itself, but it may sound the same. It looks the same.
It's just different faces.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that as America and as a country of free men, that we can break that cycle and change some of those ideas. I think the Constitution is great. I don't think anything needs to be changed with that. I think the political system that we have in place now needs to change.
Yeah, because what's the point of having a House and a Senate if their jobs are to make laws and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And if you can't even do that.
Yeah, they're just wasting taxpayers' dollars.
Like even that low impeachment that they had for Donald Trump.
Yep.
It went through in the Senate, because the Senate, the Democrats have the majority in the Senate. Or is it vice versa?
The House.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
the House.
So the Democrats have the House.
Yep.
Republicans have the Senate.
Yep.
So, even before Trump got impeached in the House, the Republicans already said, yeah, we're not doing anything with this, so you're just wasting your time. But they still went along with it.
Yep.
Just so they could use the tagline that Trump got impeached.
Yeah. We saw the same thing with Clinton, too.
Yeah. That means nothing.
No, it doesn't. It just means he got
impeached in the House, so okay.
It means the House doesn't like him.
Yeah.
So the House didn't like Clinton.
Like,
the House
whatever.
didn't like Trump. So.
And then you saw all these, in the media, you saw, they made it so dramatic and stuff like that.
Yep.
We have breaking news. Trump has gotten impeached. Like, it was like this huge thing.
Yeah.
Like, just for a tagline. Like,
yep.
It means nothing.
No. Until it's tried in the Senate and found guilty, and then the Senate wasn't even going to do it.
That was the biggest waste of time I've ever seen.
Instead of actually passing laws and making changes.
Exactly. When it comes to that, they definitely, do it nice and swift.
Yep.
But anything else, it's like, I don't know about that. You know what? Let's take recess, come back next month, and
it's ridiculous.
It seems like they're always on vacation, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, they probably work half a year.
If that.
Yeah. And I don't even think they're required to come to vote.
I don't think so.
Because, I've seen a few debates where they'll say, oh, Marco Rubio didn't vote. Where were you? This and that.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even required to vote. That's got to be like the most skate job to have, man.
Yeah. Just stall stuff until your time is up to get reelected.
Yeah, because you only need one term to have full retirement, right?
Yep.
Like,
yep.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
I need to run for Congress.
Yeah.
Just do one term.
This is the best job to have, man. So, is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
No, I think we covered everything we can off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think so too. And we'll try to do this as often as we can. We appreciate you guys for joining us and listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, again, my name is Lex
and DJ.
And you've been listening to the Raw Bird Podcast. Take care.